So today we're going to look at voting as well as free and fair election. So I want everybody to draw attention as we jump into this topic. It's very interesting, and I would love us to take home the points from this topic. So we explain the concept of voting, describe the types of voting processes, features of free and fair election, and describe the stages of election. Now, every election involves voting, right? On the election day, people make a choice. That choice is when they vote. So voting simply means when the ability or the capacity of the people, the electorate, to choose a given candidate in place of the other, right? Take note of that. And there are several types of voting. We have the public voting, otherwise called open ballots. We have the secret ballot voting. We have the open secret ballot voting and the likes. You can see all of them here. Voting by proxy, voting by post, optional voting. Some of them are not practiced in Nigeria. So let's look at some of them. Public or open ballot voting. This is the voting process in which electorates queue behind their candidates, queue behind the candidate of their choice, right? Or his poster. They put a poster for 5 candidates. So they will tell everybody to queue up behind their candidates. Now, in the open ballot system, there's no polling booth. There's no use of ballot papers. You just do a head count and then you pick the number. So secret ballot voting is the opposite. It's widely used now, and this is where ballot papers are used. So this is widely accepted kind of voting, as an electorate can freely express his or her rights by voting for any candidate of their choice. So in open balloting, it can be a bit risky because you can pick somebody, you may want to vote somebody you don't like, and his friends can attack you. But in secret, nobody knows who you are voting for, basically. So you just come in, you go into the ballots, you take the ballot paper, go to the booth, put your hands on the ink pad, put it on the ballot paper by the side of the party you want to vote for, and drop it in the ballot box. So it is done in a secluded place where nobody sees whom they voted for. So the voter is given a ballot paper on which the symbols and photographs of the candidates or their parties are boldly shown. You know what a ballot paper looks like, right? Let me see whether I can show you an image of the image of a ballot paper. So let's see. I hope I'm still recording my screen right now. Let's see. Ballot paper. I typed the wrong thing. Okay, well, I think we still got it. Let me use ballot paper Nigeria. So you see what we have here. This is a ballot paper, right? Sorry for the name. Okay, hope you can see this right now. So this is the ballot paper. You can see APC, you can see PDP, you can see APGA, whatsoever. So you now do it and drop it in the ballot box. So nobody knows who you voted for. That is why it's called secret ballot paper. Now, secret open voting. This system combines both the elements of open and secret voting system. So you gather all registered voters at an open place where they will be counted to ascertain the total number. Now, when the actual voting commences, each voter is expected to cast his or her vote at a secluded place where nobody sees whom they voted for. So everybody comes together at an open place. You can see all of them. But when the voting process is going to be done, it is now done in secret. So nobody knows who you are voting for. So it combines the element of the open ballot system where everybody comes to, everybody is seen and counted before the actual voting starts. Now, compulsory voting, it's an effect of law in which eligible and registered voters are required to vote, and penalties or fines are imposed if they fail to vote. Well, that's not happening in Nigeria anytime soon. I don't think so. Now, voting by post is when a registered voter votes outside his registered area by sending his vote through a post. We do that in US. I think it's been done in USA. So you send it back through the post and it's counted. Now, voting by proxy, system in which a voter votes in absentia. That means he sends an authorized representative to vote on his behalf. We call it voting by proxy. Now, diaspora voting is where those living outside the country, living in diaspora, right, are allowed to vote, mainly through electronic means. So take note of these points. So election must be organized by an impartial body. In Nigeria, we call it the Independent National Electoral Commission. So the electoral body in charge of organizing the election should be able to ensure that the result is genuine without any form of manipulation, right? It must be built on the principles of fairness and freeness. So election must be totally free and fair. So how do we consider, or what makes us consider an election free and fair? When it is done in a conducive atmosphere, when the equality of the citizens is actually emphasized, everybody has just one vote. When there in number one, is trying to say that there is no intimidation, no harassment, and the likes. So the number three is there's a display of the voters register containing name of those who have been registered and they're eligible to vote. Periodic revision of this register. That means this register once in a while is updated because people clock 18 years and above every month. So somebody who can't vote this year, by next month, they're able to vote. So he has to go and register so that that register will be updated and his or her name will be included in the register, right? So it will be revised periodically to eliminate ghost names, deceased voters, and include citizens who are up to the voting age. Now, another issue that feature of free and fair election is Independent Electoral Commission. The body is neutral and is responsible and conducts election properly. The judiciary is also independent so that if there is any issue to resolve after the election, they can handle it properly. And on the election day, there is adequate security to ensure that the lives of the electorates and those conducting it is protected. So also another one is counting of votes, which should be done properly, right? Regular election. So free and fair election must be held at periodic intervals. In Nigeria, it's done every 4 years, right? Now, electoral laws, there must be electoral laws to guide the citizens and electoral umpire and political parties as well. So there must be electoral laws that governs everybody, the citizens, the electorates, the candidates. Now, delimitation, wrong spelling, please. Delimitation of constituencies. That means the division of the, let's say, the state into constituencies for election to be properly conducted. Now, what are the stages of election? What stages do election pass through? So election is considered free and fair when it goes through the following stages. First of all, having an independent electoral commission, proper delimitation of constituencies, right? Now, political parties which will participate in the election should be registered accordingly. They must meet the requirements. Now, nomination of candidates by various political parties. Parties will now pick their candidates after doing their primary election. Now, there should be voters registration where eligible voters are meant to register accordingly, right? And it should be updated from time to time. There is a time given out for campaign by candidates. So when that time is over, campaign is over, right? Now, it now comes to the election itself, which must be conducted in a free and fair / credible manner. So when the election is done, the vote is counted and all calculations are done properly. Now, when it is done, the winner is now awarded a certificate by the Electoral Commission. That means whoever wins the election. Now, the final stage is the swearing in of the elected candidate by the judicial officer, and he or she now becomes either the governor or the president, as the case may be. All these things happened in Nigeria in a couple of weeks back. We ended just 29th of May was the last day, was the day we had the swearing in, right? So I hope we don't have, if you have any question, feel free to drop it in the comment section. I'll be answering it. If you have clarifications or whatsoever, I'll be answering it as well. So do have a pleasant day. Remember, we covered the following nuggets, right? If you are not sure, your clarification should come in and I will definitely take a good look at it.